All right, guys. So Dokkan last night tweeted out the final roadmap. I realize I should probably pull up their tweet. Both Global and JP tweeted out kind of like what I've been calling like the roadmap or whatever. I mean, that's usually kind of like the term, right? So we have kind of like the completed sort of roadmap for this, right? So here we go. So they tweeted out this, and it's like, show us your favorite teams is kind of like the point here. And then, with, of course, the 10th anniversary characters. And then here's Amatsu and Ken's team. Okay, let's take a look at this. Actually, we can review this right here. So Amatsu is rocking a full power setup. Okay. I mean, I'm thinking about both of these setups, Ken and Amatsu setups, in the strongest red zone. I mean, Ken would obviously just wash it as long as he protects UI Goku. AGL UI towards the end of the fight, he protects them with, Vegito and Vegeta. Vegito and Gogeta, he should be fine. Amatsu, I mean, like Tech Broly, I mean, can be caught by the Int Jiren AoE. That's kind of like a very, like that Int Jiren phase does kind of like counter Tech Broly pretty hard, but he's very good besides that. Full power Jiren is not really too impressive. Namek, Goku and Frieza, they can, kind of like get into good defensive ability, though, late in those fights, so I do like that. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, I do feel like this is the most underrated character right now, the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. I think a lot of people just don't, I don't know, maybe they're used to just sort of like, like maxing characters out for Twitter clips and stuff like that, but that Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is just a very strong, consistent character. Much more so than, I mean, most characters in the game. I think the 7th anniversary LRs probably have him beat for just, like, general consistency, but very, very good, right? All right, so we've got this. So here's kind of the final, again, like, roadmap, we could say. Here, let me drop down the zoom one notch. Well, actually, nah, we'll keep it just like that. Okay, now, first off, can I see this actually get a last-minute expansion? Like, remember Sparking Zero? For a long time, like a year, we were getting like these trailers, right? And it's like, oh, we've got this many spots. And then unfortunately there was that dumbass Japanese journalist unfortunately leaked it. And then, they did the trailer and then they opened up like 1 billion spots and put all the movie characters in, right? But I think they could. The EX part, right? So we kind of have completed the regular anniversary. Always, though, they do kind of like announce a final rewarding bonus. And in the past, kind of like that last, reward bonus, thank you, for the anniversary and all that stuff, we have seen massive, like, news come out of that. Remember the same name update? Once upon a time, you could only use, like, the same named character one time per team, but they got rid of that, which I think was good. It's definitely good. That was announced with the final anniversary rewarding bonus, which we would get, sometime next week, right? So, we're probably about a week away. I think the next Dokkan Fest, probably the 6th or the 7th, I think, we would see the next Dokkan Fest come out, right? Probably the 6th. I think the 6th, like literally in 1 week, I think the next Dokkan Fest will be out. Probably a TUR. But, I mean, the 10th anniversary, with it being super special and how crazy it is, I mean, could even, like, the next Dokkan Fest TUR be tied to the anniversary? I feel like it could. It could, right? I do think, I mean, nothing is set in stone. But I would say I do think it's going to be a TUR. I don't think they're going to drop another LR. I don't think so. I think it'll be a TUR. But it could be tied to this. And I think that they could kind of open it up. And then, maybe, I think by Saiyan Day, because there was a lot of, like, like Rick and Proton and some of them have been kind of keeping tabs on, like when events go away and stuff like that. And I believe pretty much all of the anniversary stuff is going to be gone once Saiyan Day starts. So, I mean, that, I think it looks pretty crystal clear to me that we're going to be moving into probably a Daima, I think, Saiyan Day. I think Mini Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, to me, is very likely. And then, I mean, they could, maybe easy a Majin Vegeta. They could maybe super easy a STR Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Like, there's a lot of different stuff they could do, I think, to make the celebration work well. But over the next couple of weeks, they potentially could, like, EX part of this anniversary, extend it a little bit, and then we get more characters added to here. So, all right, let's just take a look at all those characters now. Like, how many of these are W's and L's? I actually have not gotten to the showcase yet for the free-to-play Kid Trunks. That's the one character I haven't gotten a showcase out for. I'll actually probably will drop that later today. But just, like, looking at this character's details, he sucks. I mean, that's what I'm thinking, but I don't want to nail that in stone until we use him. Characters that need specific key type orbs like this, that shit just doesn't really work that well, right? It's when you're going through these runs, you're gonna have moments where you're not gonna get these orbs. That is, of course, the death sentence for this guy, right? Because it's like, it's very well and good, right, to just say, oh, well, he works great for me. Like, you could say some shit like that. But then what happens is you end up in the crucial moment, and, you just don't get the orbs, and you're screwed, right? So, like this. So people were saying, like, oh, dude, he's actually, like, super good, like, in the Battle Hard and Formidable Foes. And I'm like, oh, bet. Let's use him, right? Like, let's see, how many, like, SCR orbs do we have on the field here? We had a couple. But then, like, once we get to the very end, the crucial key moment, look at this. We have, like, no STR orbs, all right? That's the best we had. We had 3 STR orbs, so we had 12% damage reduction, and then you guys want to know what happens? Okay, Tech Broly does his thing. He's a god. All right, let's watch this. Let's see what happens here. So here's Kaioken Goku, right? We're firing off that 10 times Kamehameha. Looks pretty good. Wait, no, 4 times. Excuse me. Yeah, 4 times. Some silly boy. So he fires that off. Yep, very good. Good damage. And then death to normals, right? Like, it's when you need same type orbs like that, you're probably gonna get smoked, man. Like, it's just like, it's not good. And they're not creating their orbs until you do the failed fusion. Stupid. So I think that character's an L. I don't like this guy. I mean, this guy can do, like, fairly consistent damage, but damage is the most easily replaceable asset in this game. A lot of good, like, if we just look at this, like, which characters can do, like, good damage? Like, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is doing good damage. I mean, should I talk about the Dokkan Fest fusions, their damage? Right? Obviously, the LR Gods and LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, I mean, they're doing very good damage. I think that Namek Goku and Full Power Frieza's damage is not really that impressive. I mean, it's fight dependent, right? Like, I mean, if you're fighting a Frieza, then Goku's going to be throwing out guaranteed crits, right? If you're fighting a Goku, Frieza could be throwing out guaranteed crits. But, like, most of the really nasty fights right now, it's against, like, Jiren and Toppo, like, all over the place, right? Because even Battle Hard and Formidable Foes, right? It's Jiren, Toppo, Ribri, and Kefla. The red zones is, Jiren and Toppo. So, like, those are the bosses we're fighting. I mean, I guess that works well for Full Power Frieza, because he is at least going to have the 50% chance to crit. Yeah, so there's that. I'm just at this point, we're talking about good damage. Super easy, Buhan. He does a lot of damage for sure. I mean, Goku and Frieza, I mean, that character, no, I wouldn't really say damage is that high, but the point being, like, a lot of characters can bring damage to the table. Like, if all a character has is just, like, damage, and, like, this guy's damage is not even, like, that crazy. He just does, like, one big super, but it is a guaranteed crit, so it's just, like, solid, like, kind of, like, consistency, but, not really too, impressed with him. Most of these characters, though, I would say are W's to me. I think Demon King Piccolo is quite good for a free-to-play character. I mean, right now, he doesn't really have a great setup, but, like, yeah, no shit. I mean, the anniversary, 5 of the 6 LRs are super class, and then one of them is, Goku and Frieza. Like, Goku is in the card. So, it's like, of course, like, villains, this is just how it goes, right? Like, I would say there's a good chance the next Dokkan Fest could be a villain. The March 5th Dokkan Fest being a villain, to me, a very good chance. If it's not related to Anniversary, I mean, maybe something like Garlic Jr. If we look at the past leaving Anniversary Dokkan Fests, 2024 was First Form Frieza. 2023 was Super 17. 2022 was Captain Ginyu. And then we got to go back to 2021, Trunks and Goten Superclass. And then 2020 was Beerus Superclass, right? So we got to go. And then 2019 was Kid Goku. That was when we got Dokkan Fest Kid Goku. So it's like all of those factors there. They've done villains for many years in a row because they don't really typically have a crazy villain presence, in the anniversary itself. But I mean, I would say that a lot of these villain EZAs, Great Ape Vegeta is a monster W, easy top 10 character in the game. I don't know where I would rank him. Would I have him 5th, actually? Maybe. Great Ape Vegeta is on that level. He's so good that I think, like, talking about him as a potential top 5 character in the game is good. Like, if you gave me, like, who could be good, Kaioken Goku or Great Ape Vegeta, I'm taking Great Ape Vegeta, right? Because he's a villain on some of these kind of, like, weird teams, something like Inhuman Deeds and stuff like that. Whereas, I mean, this is our 5 millionth Goku, and, I mean, I know people like this specific moment, but, I mean, we're definitely still going to get a Dokkan Fest of that moment. Both of these characters, they for sure will get Dokkan Fest at some point. Kaioken Goku and Great Ape Vegeta, right? So there's that. The Super EZAs, I think, for the villains at least, were nailed very well. Janemba, I guess Janemba is down quite a bit because Janemba does rely a lot on dodging. And, I mean, we have dodge canceling all over through these fights, which does hurt Janemba. This, Super EZA Janemba, since he's so reliant on dodge. But, like, Super EZA Texel is a monster. I like Full Power Frieza better than Namek Goku. Although, of course, Full Power Frieza doesn't really have as effective setups as Namek Goku, right? That's definitely true. Like, Namek Goku is, I think, easy to kind of just, like, throw onto, like, kind of like a team. Like one of these, like, fusion teams or something like that. And he can kind of just, like, contribute. But, like, Full Power Frieza, especially, since he's only guarding his first turn, like, he does have to occupy that slot 1. Or else he's going to get smoked, I think, in a lot of parts of these fights, right? Super EZA Buhan, of course, was really good. The Super Class Super EZAs. So we're talking about Super Vegito, STR Gogeta, and Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Easily, I like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan by far the best. He's got some defensive mechanics, but he's a double orb changer. And he's supporting. I think Super EZA Super Saiyan 2 Gohan actually provides some good value to the team. I would like Gogeta better if he was only a Rainbow Orb Changer. If this guy was a Rainbow Orb Changer, I would use him, like, every run, I think. But he also... We have so many characters that need orbs right now on these teams. These fusion teams. That's why Gotenks, one of the major reasons Gotenks is so good. We need this so bad. So it's like adding him to, like, the AGL Gogeta team is just yet another character that really wants these orbs. So it's like, I mean, we would be running him probably over, like, the gods or Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta or something like that, because all these characters are so badly needing orbs. If only he was Rainbow Orb changing, that's all this guy needs. AGL Super Vegito, I hate him. I think he's, like, really dog shit. If a super attack is going at this guy, he's dead. It's done. It's curtains. I think when your HP is under 50%, he's quite good, actually. I do think so. But, I mean, it's when your HP is under 50%, Get under 50%, and then he can be good. So, it's very, like, hit or miss. Inconsistent for that. In terms of, like, the major LRs, I'm not really super upset at their quality. I know, I mean, a lot of players were very upset, but, I mean, I don't know. I look at so much of the discussion of these characters, and it just feels like it's all just, like people, like, pick their favorite unit, and then, like, it's just, like, wars over, like, their favorites, right? Like, it's like, I'm watching, like PlayStation versus Xbox battles or some shit like that. Android versus iPhone. Like that's what a lot of these, like, specific characters were. Of the 6, I mean, I think that the 4, so Super Saiyan 4 Goku is elite, fantastic. The 2 Dokkan Fests are, Z+ level characters. Then looking at the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, I think is very good. He just doesn't really have weaknesses, right? That's the way I would describe physical Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. He's like kind of a character without weakness, which most other characters do. But then when we get to the 2 Dragon Ball Super LRs, they have significant weaknesses, unfortunately. People really, like the defenders for this guy really fucking defend him. But the thing about it is, I mean, he can be okay in just like a slot 2 or a slot 3 role. But it's like, I mean, he needs so many orbs. He does at least create his orbs. But he needs so many orbs to be good. You're gotta plow through 30% chances to super. He can have good defense in slot 2 or 3, but that's not really... I don't feel like we're doing a lot of runs where it's like, oh, motherfucker, if only my slot 3 defense was better. I mean, the only time I'm saying that is running this dog shit character, right? Like, it's like, that's not like a super common thing, like, oh, damn, right? Like, characters can tank in slot 2 and 3 that are good. So, like, that's not... they made this guy, it's annoying and frustrating to me, weak to every difficult mechanic bosses might have. Locking, all that type of shit. I mean, I think the AoEs right now, like if you've got this built up right here, like I don't know that the AoEs will necessarily be too devastating to him, but I mean, it is kind of lazy to just say like, oh, if only he had an active skill. But like, if he had an because okay, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, right? Like, let's say he gets locked in slot 1, which is fair to talk about right now because there's multiple locking bosses. Well, I mean, we would, of course, be aware that we're in a fight that locks, and we'd be holding on to this. So then, okay, we got locked, we toss this off, boom. And then now he's got a lot of extra defense right away. Vegeta doesn't have that same ability to do, right? Like, a lot of characters in the game get, like, you know, big-time defenses and stuff like that. You know, like, if they would pop their active skill and activate their full passive, like, if this guy could do something like that, you know, a one-time active skill attack to kind of, like, get him situated, you know, to, like, a locking or an AoE type situation, I'd be higher on him. But he's, like, an anniversary LR, and he just kind of, like, sits in slot 2 or 3, he tanks well, and he does, like, damage. But, like, I don't know, like, it's just with nothing. Like, he's not doing anything, which is kind of the problem with him. This character, this Frieza is the worst we've ever seen. Ever. This guy is so bad, it's offensive. But the good news is that Goku is really good. Goku is really good. So if Frieza does not get slaughtered, right, then we can go into Goku and he could be very effective. I do wish even the Goku was better, though. And again, it's a very simple change. Give him Rainbow Orb changing. I mean, I know, you know, he needs, like, this, and... if only this guy had Rainbow Orb changing, I think he'd be even better, an elite run. He is very good defensively, which I like, but he isn't doing much besides that. Now, I know defense is definitely the most important thing, and he handles business with that. But, I mean, just the extra orb changing could be very useful. I feel like right now, I'm definitely looking for characters coming out, especially on a lot of these teams, to be having some Rainbow Orb changing abilities to really help. It's very powerful, right? Like, I love running, like, these guys because they're orb changing. Of course, the 7th anniversary LR EZAs, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and the LR Gods with their orb changing. Orb changing is huge right now. We have so many key orb-hungry characters. Yeah, so that's it. So there we go. You know, just kind of like discussing a lot of the characters. I guess we didn't really talk about the banner units, but the banner units are both very good. I think Beerus is very good. Hercule is very good. The one thing about both of them is they are both heavily reliant on dodge, and there's a lot of dodge canceling. So it's like in the hardest fights, Hercule and Beerus, we can't really run them. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not really too upset. I think that they are kind of like valuable, solid characters. One thing is I don't know why Beerus is here. I will say that. Why is Beerus in the anniversary? I mean, if we're covering all of Dragon Ball, he is a great character, an awesome, you know, one of the better additions of modern Dragon Ball is Beerus and Whis, for sure. But, like, it just seems out of place to me. Now, by the way, speaking of Beerus, I'd love to see a very strong, dominant, like, top 5 level Beerus, like Carnival LR Beerus with, like, the Hakai or something like that. I think it would be very fun. I've been waiting. That's one of the things I've been waiting for. I mean, we're now, you know, the anniversary, a lot of stuff we've been talking about, like, You know, we kind of like need the voice Father Son Kamehameha. Got that, right? Like we need transforming Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Goku. We got that. We needed a redo for Super Gogeta, Super Vegito. We got those. A redo for Goku and Frieza. We got that. So, I mean, they just nailed a lot of like kind of like things that were needed. We're just going to continue going through it, right? Demon King Piccolo eventually needs his Dokkan Fest. The Saiyan Saga characters need their Dokkan Fest. We need Namek Goku, his transformation into Super Saiyan. We need that voiced as well. That one is huge, right? So I'm sure we'll be coming up onto that. We do need like a final form Frieza Dokkan Fest. So we're continuing to hammer through all these things. Let me know what you guys think of the final snapshot of the 10th anniversary. Keep in mind the EX part could add additional characters, so let's be on the lookout for that.